Well, welcome to Matty's Workshop for 20 for 20, the first project off the rank. We've had a bit of a crap start to the year with the fires and that, but I think we're on the upper side of it now, whichever side you want to look at it at. So I think we're on the winning side now. We've had, yesterday we had about 6 mil of rain. Certainly not enough to put it out completely, but yeah, that sort of rain definitely helps. It's a bugger when we get sort of 1 or 2 mil and it's just enough to make it greasy and makes it hard to do anything with it. But anyway, we're all just poking along pretty casually now, so we're starting to get back to a fair bit of normality, which is a really good thing. So I can get a bit of time in the shed here now and have a bit of a play. So I've decided that the first project for the year is going to be a tool holder for the shaper, to take a 1/2 inch tool. So it's sort of based on the Armstrong tool holders. It's indexable. So yeah, indexable 90 degrees straight up and down, or a 45. All dimensions subject to change without notice. That's a standard thing in my shop. It just, yeah, you make it as you go. So it's going to be 38 mil overall dimension, 1/2 inch square and 3/4 thread. It's going to have a cup that fits over that, so it actually locks the tool into place. If you can sort of make it, that'll be the cross section of it. It'll be reduced down here to fit over the thread. Looking at the top of it, down from the top of this piece, you can sort of tool sit in here, or this side, or in there, and that's what'll index the actual tool into place. And just do the nut up tight, and hopefully it'll stay there. So that's what we're going to build. I've just got to source a little bit of material for the actual. This will have a stem welder to it that'll fit into the lantern tool holder on the shaper. So that'll be 5/8 by about inch, I suppose. Just got to measure the gap again in the tool holder, but yeah, I just got to find that piece yet. So that'll come off the side here, essentially like that. And that'll slide down that end, and that'll slide up from that end, do the nut up, the job's right. It's a pretty wild way of describing how this project's going to be, but we're just going to build it and suck it and see how it goes on the way. So the first part I'm going to do is this section here, the main pin bolt if you want to call it. To do the square, I'm thinking about just drilling a 1/2 inch hole and just using a triangle file and just file out each corner, and till the tool fits in there nicely. This section here, I may try and hold it in a V block in the shaper, and these are going to be recessed by about 4 mil. So this should be about 4 mil where the tool sits in here. They're 4 mil deep recesses, roughly, whatever works out when I do it. So I may even try and do that on the shaper. I might even have a go on the mill. I'd like to use all 3 machines, the shaper, lathe and the mill. So I'm just going to worry about that bit when I come to it. The reason I'm going for 38 mil body, because I've got a piece of 38 mil shaft. It's plenty long enough, and I've got another piece of it too, so I've got a fair bit of that in the pile. So there's no real reason why it can't be these dimensions. Probably fairly big for what it is, but it's not going to bend in a hurry, is it? So first job starts at the hacksaw, so I'll go and cut a length off and start machining that down, I guess, and see how we go. More over here. Good to go. Bingo. I was just having a good look at this drawing again, and I cut the piece off, and I thought, geez, that's long. Then I got to thinking, there's no need for this to be this long. This is just a waste here. So I might knock 15 mil off here, and bring that up, and probably stop the thread. So I've got a good full nut on. Probably stop the thread around there. Okie dokie. Set up in the lathe. I just took a skim pass off it just to clean it up. That's going to remain that diameter there, which is about a fraction under 38 mils. Going to turn this section here down to 27 mil. And then will be turned down again to 3/4 to take a 3/4 thread. So I'm working in both imperial and metric. So I'll get cracking on this. There's quite a fair bit to take off. Eighth out to come off, down to final size for this first section. We'll see how close we hit that on the numbers. See that? 27.8. Pretty happy about that. Finally we had a win. Righto. I'll see out this next bit and then I'll bring this back down. think that'll be close enough. I think that's good enough. Yep, that's the nut I'll be using. Time the cup goes on, yeah, cool. Should be just about spot on. Wonderful. Well, that was a sidetrack of an afternoon, I tell you. Part here that goes on the change gears of the lathe. Decided to break when I was changing the thread, the gears to cut this thread, and it broke, so I quickly machined up another one. I didn't film it, I just wanted to get it done in a hurry, so it's all up and running again. So I started cutting the thread and forgot that I was actually recording this video. So I apologise about that, but I've only just started cutting the thread. So I had an oiler, I've got another 19 of them actually, or 18 of them now. Yeah, it's got the oiler in it, so it's exactly a replica of that really. So I used the indexing fixture I made on the mill to put the square on the top. So we're back up and running again. So we can get on with the job where we started. There we go, the thread's done. It's not the best of threads, but it's about the best I could do. The pitch isn't quite right, the angle of the pitch, but anyway. Spins on, spins off. As long as it holds, it's all that matters. I did put a mark at dead centre here. So I'm going to drill that hole and work on that hole now. So I've got to go and take the indexing fixture off the mill, set the vise back up, then drill it, and then spend a fair bit of time with the file in and make it square. Not a bad cut. A lot better than doing it with a hand hacksaw anyway. Part A is complete. At this stage, it didn't come up too bad. I cut it off, that's what come off the end there, which will be enough to make the cup, more than enough to make the cup that fits over top. Now I didn't film it, but I spent quite some time with a triangle file and filed the square in. It's not perfect, but it's going to do. I wish I had a brooch, but I haven't got one. Anyway, it fits in there nice. It's got a bit of wriggle in it, which, yeah, would have liked it a bit neater, but it's not going to be. So, now I'm up to making the cup. So my plan is here is to bore it so it'll slip over. I'm thinking roughly by about that, to have the slots in here. So it'll be a slot that way. What should I say? A slot that way, and then on a 45 as well. So the only little triangles left. I haven't got a 1/2 inch end mill. It's something I don't have a lot of. I've only got about 3 or 4 end mills yet, so still saving up to buy some more. So I'm still tossing up whether to have a crack at it on the shaper and just gnaw away at it. Grind up another different tool probably, and still up in the air about that yet. But I'm going to bore this so it'll sit down over there nicely. Having a nice positive fit on that there, on this part, this portion. And then I'll worry about putting the slots in it after. So I know this dimension here is exactly the same as this dimension here, so it should meet up nice. So I'll just machine this edge off and I'll start concentrating on putting the bore in. Like that, the poor old girl. I've drilled this out to 13 mil. I'm not going to try and drill any bigger. It's a bit too hard on this lathe. It's not a big lathe at all. It just doesn't like it. I've got the time. I might as well just bore it out. I've got 6 thou to come off to give me a 3/4 bore. I'm going to put in 3.5 because it's a little bit of deflection. I've sped the lathe up too, so try and get a bit better finish. So, jungle juice in there too, I guess. Which I'll leave it at that because the thread is a touch smaller. That's good. So now I'll bore it. I'll bore the start of it to this dimension now. Okay, I haven't got a carriage lock for this, or a carriage stop for this lathe yet. Something I've been meaning to make, and now I could really do with one. So this is just a dodgy system. So I've got it. This is where my mix of imperial and metric come into play. The hole's got to be 27 mil, and I'm going in 17 mil, which is 670 thou. So anyway, we'll have a crack at it. $35 thou to come out, so I've dialed in 15, which will give me 30, and then I'll check it. Here we go. Head down. So I'm going to let that cool down a bit because that's pretty warm. Then I'll flip it and I'll machine off the excess at the back. Okay, I worked out the depth I like to be, and I bought a new pack of inserts, the Drill Pro brand, and I'm just having a bit of a play around here at the moment. They're not bad. Mind you, this insert's done all the machining on the first part that I made, and the machining on this part as well. So it's done a bit. That's a fair size cut really for a little lathe. I don't think that's too bad. I know the chips aren't breaking, but you know, it's worth playing with. Okay, you'll have to bear with me here for a minute. I've jumped ahead probably a step or two. Because I've been trying to work out all these figures. I've got no DRO or nothing on this mill. So what I've come up with, which it may be wrong, it may be right, I don't know, but it seems right in my head. I've measured the part, divided by 2. I've measured the end mill, divided by 2. I've added them two together, which comes up with 0.969. Got an indicator set at 0, so when I push the table across, if I go over 969 thou, that should put me in the centre of this part. I've put the base on the vise, swivel base. It's probably not going to be 100% accurate, but it's all I've got. So I'll use that to spin to get my 90 degrees to do the cross one. I may even just find centre and go crossways, but just having the base on here will give me the 45. That's what I mainly put the base back on for. I've only got this 2 flute end mill. It's 12 mil. I'm going to put the cut through and see how it looks with the 1/2 inch. I'll measure it, I'll split the difference and set the indicator back up and go each side and just take a hair out each side. So hopefully all this works. Or either work or it won't. It's pretty simple. Worst comes to worst, just build another part. So I'll take the table over 969 thou. So this is a 1 inch indicator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50, 60, 1. All things being square, equal, and adding up all the same, that should have put me just eyeballing it. Looks bloody grouse. So, I'm going to do this first cut off camera so I can keep an eye on what's going on. Okay, after a few stuff ups and misthinking and screwing up. Get all this crap off it. It's a perfect fit, believe it or not. Couldn't wish for much better than that.